y'all, Jesse here at JRM Outdoors. Obviously y'all know the beard's gone. Doing today something a little bit different, and another reason I changed it to outdoors instead of just bassing with Jesse is I do a lot more than just fishing. I wanted to bring you all along today. We're gonna do some trapping. So I've got a set out right now. I've got 4 Bridger number 2s out and haven't had any luck with them just yet, but I'm gonna move 3 of them today. I'm still pretty rusty and new at this, but a couple years ago I had a lot of good success, but wanted to kind of show y'all how I do it. And if any of you guys that trap yearly or consistently or whatever got any tips for me to do anything different, just put it down in the comments. But it rained a little bit last night, so I'm hoping I can find some dry dirt. I don't have any wax dirt left. I've used it all. So y'all just stay tuned and we'll see what we can figure out. Alrighty, y'all, just stopping here at the first set. It's kind of right here at the beginning of the piece I have permission on, but you can see it's right here by the road. Big holler right there. Grass, alfalfa field here. It's kind of a crossing point. We've seen some dogs crossing recently. Made this first set, and it's been here for, like I said, a week and a half, and I haven't caught anything on it. But you know, an old stump that got dug up here and it's been just a dirt pile for a while. Haven't noticed any scat or anything, but there is, you know, I felt like a couple tracks here. But what I tried to do was make a step down set that I've seen made, you know, so when I set these sets, I kind of, this iteration of the sets, I kind of tried to experiment on some stuff I'd never done before. In the past, all I've done is just a standard, you know, dirt hole set, not a step down or nothing crazy like that. I wouldn't even call it crazy, but just something different that I've never done before. And either the dogs and coons or whatever are too wary of it, or, you know, just couldn't get them to commit for whatever reason. But we're going to get this one dug up. We're going to end up moving this one. I don't know where we're going to go with it yet, but I just wanted to show y'all my first set. But obviously not there, but our Bridger right there. So, all right, here's our next one we're going to pull. Got a little pond right here, and you got a big bowl drainage here. Field on the other side with some trails around the edge. But down here in this bottom, you see the fence is kind of, well, you probably can't see it, but the fence is pulled up down there in the bottom, and it's kind of a little ditch that runs up through there. Notice some little game trails and stuff going up through this grass. So I put one down here and, you know, made another step down set, which I think was my detriment. The little ditch that was, you know, I put a possum or coon bone that I'd found down in there, and it was kind of natural that this little hole was here. I just kind of dug out the bottom and made my bait hole and all that, but still nothing here. And y'all see behind me, fence is pulled up, what have you. And I found the bones that I put on my backing right there, that bone. I found it underneath this little cedar tree right here. So I figured maybe there'd be some stuff, you know, around this little ditch. But so far nothing. There's wet dirt right now. But trap is right there. So I'm gonna pull this one and figure out where to put it. All right, we just wrapped around the corner there. There's a cedar tree right in front of me that I said the bones were underneath. We're just walking this road to our next set. This little fence edge. This big timber, that's all we got here. This next one, I honestly had a lot of confidence in, and maybe you guys that do this all the time will tell me I'm an idiot for having confidence in this one, but don't really know why it didn't work out. But I really do want to have one right here, kind of where I'm at. You know, it's fence is kind of broke down, real nasty thicket right on the edge of this little tall grass field. You know, it's kind of just a high point right here, clean road. They can run up and down this fence edge. But I'm going to show you guys this next set. I can just imagine some of the guys that do this all the time are probably screaming at me right now, put it right there. I'm like, hey, I'm still kind of learning. But I may end up putting on this road, but I've got one right here. So we're getting real close back to the road. It kind of loops around. Drop that trap in that glove right there. So this is a power line. Y'all can't tell. Big long power line with a field down there at the edge. Now I can only go about halfway down this field before, or halfway down this hill before I hit the property line. And that's why I didn't get none down there in that corner in that field. You'll see there's a telephone pole down there in that corner of that field. Just a massive, awesome transition area. And I wish I could hunt down there. Deer hunt and or trap. I know, I mean, it's just blatantly obvious that would be a spot. Just a really good transition area for deer, turkey, anything. But y'all see my Tacticam there, and then there's my set right in front of us here. And I honestly had a ton of confidence in this set, but for some reason it didn't work out. I obviously made another step down set. Like I said at the start of the video, I kind of experimented with these sets, trying to figure out something a little different. Obviously, you know, didn't work out to my favor. I had a house cat on camera last night or the night before, and I was worried about that. I was like, man, please don't step down in there. And then I had a doe come through at midnight, and she was sticking her head down in there, and I was wondering if she was gonna step in there and get launched to the moon. But got this one set off, and well, I'm gonna take my camera down from here too, and I'm gonna move it. I think I might end up moving it down this holler somewhere possibly. I'm just trying to scout this area too for not only, you know, trapping, but deer hunting as well, because I'll be deer hunting in here next year. So we'll get this one pulled, and then the last one that I already had remade or reset, like I told y'all earlier, I'm gonna leave it where it's at. I honestly think it's in a pretty dang good spot. All right, get y'all fastened up here. So this is what we got. Here's this road I was telling y'all about. So fields right through there, obviously. Road comes down. I'm standing in the middle of the road, and it goes straight down the hill there. And if I zoom in, you can kind of see the porch of his cabin. It goes another 20, 30, 40 yards past his cabin, then it drops off into the holler and a creek bottom. I haven't set any down there. I really just don't want to walk that far every single day. He's got road signs down through there, like children play, stuff like that. Just kind of like, you know, what have you. Old farm implements laying on both sides of the road all the way up through there. But this looks like a little, I guess, bypass to the road or what have you. There's a little bitty hump right here. And then there's another four-wheeler trail that goes right down there into that bottom. So I think maybe, you know, we can go ahead and set one here, which it's not my only trap, so I'm not extremely picky with it. But I did clean out a little dirt spot there just to get started. But I'm going to kind of walk you through from start to finish. You know, I think the most important part is location. This is a travel corridor for everything. It's an animal. It's just like people, path of least resistance. So we're here on a main road. They don't have to jump over sticks or anything to get a very long distance. You know, they can actually creep up through this road because it's gravel underneath the leaves. So let's open the old bag here. I just recently got a groundhog and a sifter, and I'll tell you guys that do without it and just use a shovel or whatever, use your hands to sift. This makes life 1,000,010 times easier to do it with a sifter and a groundhog, because you have something to dig with, so you don't have to carry a regular hammer and you know, you're 2 in 1 there. So here's a groundhog. It's a 3-pound sledgehammer with a little trowel on the back of it. You can dig your trap beds with that and what have you. Sifter, I mean, this was $22 at Minnesota or at Shields, and this was like $8 at Shields. And then, of course, your stake driver to drive your stakes in. But I'm gonna go ahead and dig a set here, and we'll see what we can get figured out and see if we can get something to bite. Probably gonna go here and then just do my bait hole about right yonder somewhere. I'm gonna back my trap off a little bit more. I think I'm gonna stick it right here and then have my, you know, a little bit of an offset, and go from there. But let me get y'all straightened up and looking on, and hopefully this records really good. I've got y'all on a chest rig, so I don't have no stand or selfie stick or nothing crazy like everybody else has got. So I'm just gonna take my trowel here and dig my trap bed out. All this dirt that you're dragging back, if you guys are completely brand new and just happen upon my video here, drag this dirt back to you and leave it in a pile right where you're at, because you're gonna want it whenever you go to cover your trap up and bed your trap. Like I said earlier, I ain't got no wax dirt, so, and I ain't got trap covers, pan covers, nothing. And in the past, I've done it just like this and done, you know, somewhat well. So y'all can just watch me. This is in real time. I'm not going to speed it up, and I'm not really trying to be fast or nothing. I'm staying back from my little spot here the best I can. Got some roots in here, so I'm just going to chop them up a little bit. And I am in the woods, so, you know, I'm going to deal with roots. That was a nice thing about setting some of these up on the in the field in there, is I didn't have to deal with roots. So I am trying to stay, you know, with my legs back behind it, which I don't care what you do. I don't think you're going to trick a deer's nose, and you ain't going to trick a dog's nose for sure. So just going to get my trap bed dug out here best I can, and after I get it dug out to where I'm somewhat satisfied with it, I'm going to take the sledgehammer side of this here groundhog, and I'm going to kind of pack everything in and make the bottom tight. I'm sure a lot of you guys that do this all the time are wincing, but like I said several times, I'm pretty much brand new at this. I'm self-taught. I had a fella show me for, you know, 2 traps, like, hey, this is how you do a dirt hole, and then that was it. There wasn't no crazy extravagant class that I've been to. You know, the reason I started trapping is I think trapping is extremely important for any habitat. You know, a lot of guys that deer hunt and turkey hunt and what have you, you know, y'all should really, really, really be attempting to manage your predators as well. And I ain't saying wipe them out, because I think predators have their place just as well as a deer, a turkey, a duck, or whatever does. You need them just like you need deer or need turkey, but they have to be managed. And a lot of time predators go unchecked because people are either too lazy or too scared or don't have any confidence in themselves that they can do it. So I'll fill this backside in a little bit, but I think we got her deep enough. And I don't like to go crazy deep with mine as far as setting them or bedding them. I just like it to where I can get them to where they'll set. I'm gonna go ahead and set this one and lay it in there just to see, you know, I'm in the right spot as far as width and size. Fold your legs down like so. Knock on wood, I have not snapped myself with a trap yet, which I know it ain't bad. But I've been fortunate to where I haven't snapped myself yet, so we're gonna go ahead and get this thing night latched. Flip that over and easy. There she's night latched. Good and flat pan there. I'm just testing this. I'm not setting it like this. So I'll make sure I can get this thing bedded in there to where it don't move, because if a coyote steps on a trap and it moves at all under his foot, if he don't step straight on the pan to get himself first straight away, he is not going to come back. They are extremely smart and wary animals. I think that's going to end up working. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and dry my steak. And some of you guys that do this all the time are probably like laughing and cringing, or like, oh my God, typing a book in the comments. But like I said, man, I'm new. So this is, in my opinion, the way you learn is doing exactly what I'm doing right now, is just go do it. Make your mistakes, do your research, you know, what have you. So that's what I'm doing. It's a simple thing to do. It's not hard. None of this is hard work. I'm not running a bunch of traps. I'm just running 4 right now. But this thing drove in there real good. Pull my steak out. Go ahead and pat that in there. I'll grab my chain and pull like hell. It's not going anywhere. I'm gonna have fun getting that out. I'll set my deal in here. I have in the past with a guy that taught me to trap, or showed me a couple things that he does. Not really taught me. That's not gonna do nothing. I'm using Bridger number 2, so you guys know about traps. They got a great big old pan on them, and that's what I wanted. So got the trap bedded in there. We're not wiggling at all. I'm gonna go right around here with my dirt hole off to the side a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and sift this in. So, you know, I recommend wearing gloves. Doing this not for nastiness or nothing, just you want to try to, you know, I don't think you're gonna trick a dog's nose or a deer's nose or whatever, but you can at least like hunt the wind, or, you know, minimize your effect as most as you can. But I don't believe in the scent control products or nothing like that. I'd say they help a little bit, but, you know, they're not going to hide you. I don't think you're going to get 100% effectiveness on scent control. I just think it's impossible. Yeah, we're just sifting some dirt here. Kind of trying to wiggle this off as I go. It's supposed to rain tonight, so all this is probably for naught. I like to sift this in, and since I don't use pan covers, what I typically do is take a little bitty twig, like so, and then I'll just kind of rake up under my pan there and get some dirt off of it, just to make sure that nothing's underneath of it. That's why I leave a big hollow thing in the bottom of it. I don't bat it in wax or nothing. Typically, if I'm gonna use wax, I just pour it on the top. I don't pour it underneath, but I do leave like a trough underneath of my pan, to where since, you know, working with what I got to work with, it's not obviously optimal, but I can bed with just regular dirt and not have to worry about stuff getting under the pan and dirt clods getting under there, and keeping the trap from going off and something steps on it. So this is, you know, best case scenario for me. So there you go. Trap's right there, pan's right there. I'm going right there with the dirt hole. Right there's the pan. I'm going to try to make this look a little bit more natural. Put a few more leaves back on it. Get rid of some of this extra dirt out of the way. Just throw it over there on the trail. Make this look clean. Don't want a big hole sitting here or nothing. I kind of just want them to come up and want to find that dirt hole. And I got this is my drill for work, but auger here is just a bulb auger, like you would plant iris bulbs with. I'm gonna go about 8 or 10 inches right there above my hole. Oh, you gotta watch this thing. It'll get a hold of you when it grabs a root. But There's a root in there that keeps grabbing it, but there's that. Got a good dirt hole there. Probably about a foot or so deep. I did pull some dirt clods out with that, obviously, so I'm gonna get rid of them. We can just pack that one in there, right there, actually. I don't know if it's an old wives' tale or not, but I've always heard that coyotes don't like dirt clods. They don't like stepping on them. I don't know if that's true or not, but I guess I stick to my guns whenever I'm like, hey, I'm gonna get my dirt clods out of my set. Sounds kind of dumb to me, but it is what it is. So now we're gonna bait this. I got, a natural backing with leaves and stuff. I don't think they'll try to dig it off the side. I got some, some old dead limbs here I can kind of cover the back with, and then maybe some of these extra leaves that I just put my hand in my trap. Luckily, I put it on the middle part. You guys can tell I'm new. About goofed up there, didn't I? Yeah, we're gonna have to fix that. Okay, anyway, I got some natural backing here with the leaves and such. My dirt hole's right here. I guess the eye appeal would be coming from behind me, not really in front of me. If they're coming up the road and see this, they might want to kick over and figure what's here. But so what I did to get back into trapping, I don't know what I did with my old traps that I used to use all the time. And it's a good starter set, in my opinion, and probably some other people's and whatever. But Bass Pro Shops, Cabela's, Shields, wherever, they sell basically starter kits for trapping. They come with, mine came with the 4 Bridger number 2s, the stake driver, and then a couple gland lures, bobcat and coyote gland lure, as well as a little thing of bait, 9 ounces of bait. All this is Minnesota Trapline brand. I bought this on my own. This is a raccoon call moonshine. It's all caving stuff. That all I've got is cavings. I haven't branched out or nothing. There's some coyote piss and yodel dog, some gland lure, coyote gland lure. I'm going to go with the gland lure, and I'm gonna take some coyote piss and just put it here right around the hole. Probably doing this wrong, but I've been told to put the gland lure here, put the bait down in the hole, and then put the piss behind the set. I got coyote piss on my hand, so that's awesome. I'm gonna go with the coyote gland lure, and I'm gonna try it the old way I used to do it, because the new stuff I've been trying just doesn't work. So I'm gonna put the gland lure. If you guys can tell, I've got this little stick, it's just natural here. I'm just gonna stick that down in that gland lure. Kind of roll it around in there. It don't take a bunch. This stuff's strong as crap. Wish I'd get some on there. Yeah, take that gland lure and stick it on that stick that's right above the hole. And then go in your wife's drawer, utensil drawer. This stuff smells delicious. I wish I'd just take a big spoonful and eat it. I always used to do about a little bit more than that. Right about there, about 3/4 of a spoonful. And stick it down there in the hole and then drop it down in there. I don't have any eye appeal to put down in there, but in the past I've never needed it. In the past, actually, what I did, instead of like sheep's wool or what have you, it may have just been the area I was in and the animals hadn't been trapped, so maybe they were just like, extremely curious and no pressure or whatever, is I would just rip up some grass, like this grass right here. I'm gonna grab use your gloves before I do this. But I would just like take some ripped up like hay grass and then stick it down in the hole so it kind of looked like a burrow. I don't want leaves to be down in there or in the way, but we can take some grass and stick it in the hole there. So Kind of looks like something trying to make a nest there, you know. So, all right then. I think I'm gonna do one. Got some grass right here, and I think I'm gonna use that as my backing. I've got one over there in that field already, so it is kind of close to where I've got one already, but you guys that trap, you know. I don't think it matters how close they are together. Just that, you find that sweet spot, and then you can catch, one after another of everything in that spot. And I found them before, and it don't take much to find it. You just got to find it. So my other trap's about 60, 70 yards that way. So we're going to use this right here on this side of that grass. And we're going to go ahead and do a set right there. It's going to be kind of a flat set, but we're going uphill, so it is kind of going to allow stuff to kind of run into it or run by it and smell it. So we'll get working on that one. This one, I'm probably not going to film, but my very last one I'm going to film, because my last one I'm going to put on my property. And I found some scat and stuff in the the recent future, or recent past, sorry, down there. So I just I want to avoid trapping it because of, house animals. But I'm going to go ahead and put my camera on it, so that way if, kitty cat or doggy dog gets stuck in it, I can go ahead and run down there and get them out of it. But it's a good measure away from the house, but animals are curious. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this one set in, and then we'll video the last set, and then we'll go from there. And I'll kind of do like an outro or whatever. So see y'all. All right, y'all, here's set number 2. The dirt hole there, put some grass down in it. This one, I stuck a little stick in the ground, and I put some feline fix on the top of it, so it's bobcat gland lure. Traps right here. So it's a little travel area, a little low spot in the fence right here. A bunch of trails and stuff coming up through here. So, and it is a little, kind of like a little pinch point in the very back rolled off side of this hill. We got one more to set. Like I said, I'm gonna kind of do that one down there on my property, closer to the house. All right, so we're at the last one, and I'm back on my property. Power line right here. See the box blind up there at the top, and up there, up here is that field that I was just working in. My property goes here and goes back about another 150, 200 yards that way, and then I got this hillside or whatever. But behind the box blind is the house, so animals, critters that we own, stuff like that. Deer feeder right here. Sunday, I'm hoping to move that to the back of that field, along with the new Millennium 220 I bought. Hopefully we'll get something the next few days. I'm going to keep y'all along for this one. I'm just not going to be talking. So that way y'all can kind of see real time on how long this takes for somebody that's beginning. You don't have to overthink nothing. It's just, get them in the ground. Figure the rest out later. I see a lot of guys packing a bucket too. I know I said I'm not going to talk, but people are like, why are you carrying all your stuff in a backpack? But I see guys carrying the 5-gallon bucket with the thing around it with all their baits and stuff stuck in it. That's neat. I don't have one yet, so stay on my business. But I'm going to go ahead and dig this out. So, clay. I am digging a little bit extra out just because it's clay and it's hard to get this stuff to sift. So, I'm going to make this a tight set. I'm not going to offset it, put my hole 10 inches away from my trap. I mean, I'm going to put it kind of on top of each other just because they have to get on top of it to smell it. So they can't come in from the back or nothing. They'll have to go right here. So I'm going to kind of make this what I self-named a tight set. Everything's tight together. And usually when I did that in the past, I'd catch like possums and coons and stuff like that, which I'm after them as well. So I'm after anything. This isn't a money making thing for me. I think fur trapping is dying because there's no money in it. I think it's a blast. You know, everybody's heard of trapping, but nobody's tried it. But trust me, it's really cheap to get into. It's not hard to do. It gives you a filler in between turkey season and deer season. You know, like here in Kentucky, trapping season's open November 6th to February 28th. So, I mean, you got a good chunk there that you can trap. Gives you something to be outside, learning your property, shed hunt while you're doing it. You know, it's a good way to get outside. Kids love it too. All my kids seem to really enjoy trapping for whatever reason. I guess because it's easy, and it's kind of like Christmas morning. Every time you go check traps, and you have no idea, you know, what you're gonna have in the morning. The last place we trapped was a few years ago, and was a lot more successful there. We pretty much had something every day. But I'm just learning this place, so once I learn it, then, you know, I am going to get some dog proofs too, because I got a coon problem bad. I just don't have any dog proofs I can put over there underneath that deer feeder, which is where they need to go. I got one so fat, look like an old fat man sitting in a recliner, sitting there eating corn, sitting on his butt. So I need to get 3 or 4 dog proofs and just set them up under that feeder. And not worried about the deer over here. They're coming from the property I got permission to hunt on over to here, so I'm not losing them. If I get me a few coons off of here, but they're nest raiders and everything else, so I want them out. I'm not trying to kill them all, just, you know, like I said before, trapping's about managing. A lot of people I seen, once I got back into trapping here recently, I seen on TikTok or whatever, people on trapping posts, oh, your poor innocent animals deserve to live, and this, that, and the other, and that is 1000% true. I agree with you on that, but like anything in the wildlife, you have got to manage it. You can't just let it go. You know, some of you guys probably know of a place that's been overrun with deer or what have you, you know, anything. I know a lot of places that are used to be overrun with deer, like Brown County, Indiana. You couldn't hardly open your eyes without seeing a deer. I remember back in the day seeing a picture where somebody, before they started doing like the conservation or the kill-offs or what have you, the management, like basically hunt them, bring in out-of-state snipers or what have you to get rid of deer, because there's so many of them. There was a picture that I seen where a guy went into the woods at the state park in Brown County, and basically from everything about your neck below was gone. Like all the green, all the limbs on the trees, they were starving to death because they had nothing to eat. They had eat the grass around there down all the way down to the dirt, like they were starving because there was too many of them. And, you know, coyotes can do the same thing. They can start starving because they've ate all the squirrels and ate all the turkeys and ate everything they can get a hold of. And then when that happens, what you start getting is you start getting them coming in the yard and they're snatching your cat or snatching your little stupid yappy dog, or, you know, they'll start snatching stuff that they normally wouldn't go after. You know, running in the yard and snatching up your 2-year-old running around out there in the middle of the day trying to play, enjoy their warm weather because they're starving to death. So they start getting desperate just like a human would if we start getting hungry and grocery stores are empty. We're probably going to start doing some shit we wouldn't normally do to eat, wouldn't we? So animals are the same exact way. They just got to be managed, and it's good for them. It's not just us we're protecting, it's them too. It helps with disease, helps with them being able to find and survive on food, you know, to where you're not overrun with one species that all eat the same thing and there's not enough of it in an area. So, you know, you just kind of got to manage it, and that's all that trapping is. It's just like deer hunting or turkey hunting. You're getting food for it or whatever. Of course, you're not eating a coyote or a possum or whatever, but you're managing that population, which is good for your area and good for the overall health of the entire ecosystem where you're at. So there's a purpose behind it. It ain't just, oh, well, I'm mean and want to kill stuff. That's not how it works. So the people that say that stuff on posts and probably will comment under this, because I see it all the time. educate yourself, and then come back and we'll talk about it. I get your opinion as you don't like trapping or hunting or fishing or whatever, and I completely respect that. But we do this for a reason, not just because we're cold-blooded killers and we hate the world and want to see everything die. It's way past that. So we're almost done with this set. This is down here in this bottom, so it's awful wet dirt. Alrighty, let's get the drill. I'm basically gonna go right under those 3 little stems that are there together. I said it's gonna be a tight set. I'm putting it right here together. Just so y'all know, I know the view's been probably bad most of the video. I'm just wearing a chest rig with my iPhone. It's not, I don't have a GoPro or nothing. It's just a chest rig and an iPhone. So once I find something better, can afford something better, that's what we'll do. But this will do for now. So for what I'm doing. Like I said before, that's going to be our eye appeal for inside the hole. Go ahead and get the smelly smells out. This one we're going to do, I'm going to do this one in the moonshine, just because I don't think, I mean, I'm sure there's coyotes running around down this bottom, but I know there's coons in this area right now, so I'm kind of wanting to get them over here. That's what I'm aiming to in this spot. I know this isn't the optimum set for coon. Typically you want a dog proof, and that'd be good for me to have for reasons discussed previously. Home critters here, you know, cats and dogs ain't gonna stick their paws in a dog proof trap. So let's stick that step down in there yonder. I'm gonna put a little bit at the mouth of the thing. That's gonna be it for the smelly smells. But on this type of set, I think I can get a coon to come over here and sniff his thing, and then come over here and caught it. And I've caught a coon on a dirt hole just like this. I caught a massive boar coon a few years ago. He was at least 20 pounds. He was madder than hell too. But that's pretty much it, guys. All right, so we got 3 new sets in. Kind of moved some stuff around. Got one here close to the house. Really hoping that we can, you know, start figuring something out when it comes to trapping, which I'm in no hurry, and it doesn't really bother me either way, whether I do amazing. I'm not doing this for money. I'm doing it for control, for management. I think it's important that anyone that has any kind of size of land probably does some kind of trapping, box trapping for coyotes or coons or possums or whatever. I think it's important that you kind of try to manage that. And I know it's kind of tough to look at whenever you see a coyote in a trap or something stuck with their foot in the trap, but these traps do not hurt the animals. I'm not doing it because I've already set these, but there's 1,000,001 videos of people sticking their hand in a bridger number 2 or whatever, and it does not hurt at all. It's meant to hold the foot. It doesn't break their leg. It doesn't do none of that. They've got 2 or 3 swivels on the chain that allows it to rotate, so it doesn't just lock their leg in one spot. They can still move. They just can't go anywhere because the pad on their feet, that metal bar that comes up and shuts, it grabs the back of the pad on their foot or what have you, so they can't get their foot out of it. It doesn't break them or cut their circulation off like crazy or whatever. It's not near as brutal as people say it is. Like I said, it's just one of them things. Just educate yourself. Anyway, well, guys, it's been fun today. Of course, this is one of those things. Hurry up and get your sets in and then wait. So I'm going to get the camera set up over here close to us, and that'll be it. Y'all just comment down below if y'all want to see anything crazy next. But, I mean, I'm hunting, fishing, and trapping. So, pretty much doing stuff kind of the old-fashioned way and having a good time doing it. Y'all have a good one.